When you close a private browsing window, someone else using your device may not see what you opened. But that does not mean websites, networks, or internet providers saw nothing. Private mode is more like using a temporary clean room on your own computer. When you leave, the browser usually does not keep that session's history, searches, form entries, or temporary cookies in the usual local places. But the outside world does not forget your visit just because your room looks clean. A website may still receive your connection, device signals, login activity, and clicks. A school, workplace, or internet provider may still have network-level records. Private browsing reduces local traces. It is not an invisibility spell. To understand the limit, zoom out from the browser. Your request does not jump straight from your finger to a website. It passes through the browser, the operating system, your router, an internet provider, maybe a company or school network, and finally the site's servers. Private mode mainly works at the browser level. When you close the window, it may clear local browsing history and session cookies. But your router still handled traffic. The website still received a visit. If you logged into an account, that service may know it was you. Private mode is useful, but its boundary is specific. It helps protect against someone later checking that same device. It does not erase every footprint across the whole internet path. A private browsing session leaves two different categories to think about. Local traces include history, search records, form autofill, and temporary cookies stored by the browser. Those are the traces private mode is mainly designed to reduce. External traces are different: the website's server records, activity tied to a logged-in account, connection requests visible to a network administrator, or actions you submit online. Downloads saved to the computer do not vanish just because the window closes. Bookmarks you create may stay. Messages, orders, comments, uploads, and searches performed inside a website may still exist on that service. Private mode can clean the browser room. It cannot clean every camera in the city. From the website side, private mode does not make the visitor disappear. The site can still receive an IP address, browser and device characteristics, pages requested, clicks, and time spent. If you sign in, the service can usually connect activity to that account, regardless of whether the window is private. Some tracking becomes weaker because cookies may be isolated or cleared at the end of the session, but that does not eliminate every way a site can recognize patterns. Advertising, analytics, payments, recommendations, and customer support often happen on the server side, not only inside your browser history. Private mode may reduce what someone finds later on your device. It does not stop a site from receiving data during the visit. If you cut open privacy tools, they solve different problems. Private browsing focuses on local browser records. A VPN may route your connection through another network point, changing what the destination site sees as the source, but the VPN provider becomes a party you must trust. Clearing cookies affects how sites remember you, but it does not automatically change your IP address. Logging out of an account can reduce direct identity linking, but it does not guarantee you are impossible to recognize. These tools are not magic shields competing for one crown. They block different lines of sight. Before choosing a tool, ask, who am I trying to keep this from? Private mode is still useful in everyday life. It can help when you borrow someone's computer for a quick login, shop for a surprise gift and do not want suggestions appearing later, test a website while signed out, or avoid leaving form entries on a shared device. But it is not a good reason to assume your workplace network cannot see traffic, your school network cannot log connections, or websites cannot identify activity. If you use a shared machine, you still need to log out, handle downloaded files, and avoid saving anything manually. Safe use is not about being mysterious. It is about knowing where each trace can remain. The comparison is simple. In normal browsing, the next person using the same computer may find history, autofill, or cookies left behind. With private browsing, those local traces are usually reduced after the session ends. That is the real benefit. But on the other side, website logs, account activity, network level data, and provider records may not disappear just because you closed the window. Many privacy misunderstandings come from mixing up two questions: I do not want this computer to remember, and I do not want outside services to know. Private browsing helps with the first. By itself, it is usually not enough for the second. It is a curtain, not a vanishing act. So private browsing can hide some browsing history, but it cannot hide everywhere you went. More precisely, it mainly prevents that session from being saved in certain local browser areas. But connecting to a site, logging into an account, downloading files, submitting forms, and passing through networks can still create other records. That is not meant to scare you. It is meant to draw the privacy map clearly. Before opening a private window, ask, am I hiding this from another user of the device, from a website, from a workplace or school network, or from an account-based service? Different answers require different tools. Mature online privacy does not come from believing one button makes you disappear. It comes from knowing what that button can erase, and what it cannot.